There you go. That was Sterile Nails and Thunder Bowels by Silencer. It's such an edgy song. I love it. I love it. It just brought back a lot of memories. Yeter. This is the song that they recommend you when they label you as a poser. They never did that to me, but things have changed a lot. Like back in the day when this came out, this was like when we were learning about this. Oh my god, this is cool and everything, but it's not bad. It's just edgy. It's just edgy. That's it. That's it. It's just an edgy song. And energy, the band itself, like most black metal bands, are just edgy, and I find it funny. I find it funny because a lot of black metal is legit, really cool, but it's also funny that the bands are just edgy. Welcome, Yeter, by the way. How are you doing? Welcome to today. They're just edgy. Okay, there's plenty wrong with being edgy. Doesn't mean you can't. Doesn't mean you can't, and my judgment means fuck all. Yeah, go ahead and do these things. I'm not gonna advocate for self-harm or anything like that. Like you do you. I'm against you doing self-harm to pull off a song. It's one of those things, right? Like you hear some of these musicians rituals that they engage with to be able to perform the way they do, and it is strange a lot of the time, the kind of stuff they need to do. Am I religious? I haven't gone to church in a while, but I am Catholic. I don't mind discussing these things. I don't mind discussing these things. I haven't gone to church in a very long time. I have my reasons. I will return one day, I'm pretty sure, but I am Catholic. And you know, it's one of those things that I hear some of these because I remember like Steve Tyler and like the Rolling Stones and these guys, that they all have their rituals for getting ready beyond, you know, just warming up. That is just interesting to me. That this is the, for example, this guy, Natram, he had to stab himself. He actually stabbed himself with a knife while recording this to be able to get those screams. And I remember me as a 15-year-old being like, wow, that's weird. Like, that's metal as fuck, but I can just scream like that. You know, yeah, that's what he did. He, like, in the recording booth, he would just he would get pig paws, like you can see it here. He would bandage himself with pig paws, and he was like, he was pure edge. He was pure edginess, and to pull off those screams. And I remember seeing that and I was like, okay, that's bad. Like I thought at the time, 14-year-old me, man, that's badass. And then I realized, wait, I can already scream like him. That's completely unnecessary. Like Ozzy biting the head off a bat just for the sake of being bad. Yeah, it's like those edgy moments of it's just being edgy. It's just being edgy. It's theatrical. It's for show. I have nothing against it as long as no one actually gets hurt. And in this case, you know, Natram, he did what he did. I'm against it. I'm against it. You should just practice, dude. Just practice and get the vocals, get it right, dude. Like just practice. Go practice. You can pull it off. You can pull it off. If you practice enough, you can pull off a scream. You just need to practice. That's how I got into throat singing. That's how I managed to learn yodeling. That's how I managed to learn the guitar the way I do. Just practice. Put in the time, put in the work, and practice. Yes, there is a chance that there's a physical limitation and you're not going to be able to do something. Like, for example, I have a fairly bassy voice. I'm a baritone, so that means I have a fairly flexible range. Can I cook? Yeah, we've done cooking streams. I might want to do it on next week. We do them on every few Fridays, like wildcard Fridays. cooking is an option, and you get to vote for wildcard. We don't have one this week because we don't have a stream this Friday. But yeah, really mean it when you say the pushing through the edge. Yeah, no, like Silencer, Mayhem, these bands. These are the two bands that I can think of that were like. I mean, Mayhem. They did start a terrorist group. They did start terrorist activity because, burning down churches because fuck Christianity. That is violence for a political or religious motive, which is terrorism. By definition, that is terrorism. Not good. And like all the other fucked up things, like they had gangs and everything. So they are very, very fucked up. And a lot of that was they started to believe their own edginess, which is one of the dangers of this kind of thing, right? If you involve yourself in this kind of circles, and there's no one there to tell you, dude, you're being an idiot. What are you doing? What are you doing? Dude, you're being edgy. What are you doing? Then you end up with situations like that. Like I remember with Mayhem, one of the members, the guy in Burzum now, he killed someone because of music. One of his members of the band killed himself. And this guy, instead of calling the police, he grabbed his camera and took a picture, and it's the cover for one of their albums. Then he called the police. That kind of thing, right? Like it's really, really, really levels of fucked up. Because they believed their own edge. They believed their own edginess, and that's just not good. But yeah, we do cooking. We do cooking. We do miniature painting. Wildcard Fridays. We've done so far 2 cooking streams in this channel since I started taking this a little bit more seriously. But yeah, listened to these bands before, would never dive into this this deep. That's insane. It is because I love music. Music is really cool. Like I also believe some of the edge. I have the long hair. I wear black. I love it. I love winter. All that kind of stuff. But there's a limit. There is a limit to these things, which a lot of these didn't do, because that's one of the dangers of musicians a lot of the time, that it's a bunch of theater kids. It's a bunch of theater kids, and a bunch of theater kids are going to be theatrical, they're going to be dramatic, they're going to believe their own bullshit, and they're going to end up engaging in all sorts of weird shit because of that. And the problem is, it's not just in metal that you see this. Like, metal is the easiest one to see, because metalheads are the most transparent, and the most evident of that. You see the pop industry, the amount of just drugs and human trafficking that you see in the pop industry is insane. You see the country full of alcoholics, rap, drugs and gangs. Like, there's all sorts of these things where these musicians believe that, like, they get high on their own farts to a ridiculous degree, because it's one thing to have your gimmick. For example, Amon Amarth. These guys go around they put a Viking ship on set, they write these songs about Vikings, it's super badass, they dress the part and everything, and then they stop. They go live their lives. Look at Twilight Force. These guys play Dungeons and Dragons. Then they record what happens in their games, and they make their music based off of that. It's power metal, so it's a little bit different. And they show up to their concerts in character. The characters that they play in their sessions of D&D, they write their music about, and they sing and they perform as them. Once the show ends, they get off the costume and they move on with their days. You look at Seven Spires. These guys, incredible. I think they are on track to be one of the best bands out there ever. They live their gimmick. Like, Adrienne lives her gimmick. And she knows when to stop. And she knows damn well when to stop. And because of that, she's just, yeah, what do you think about musicians defying the mainstream to criticize political injustice like Macklemore? Go for it, yeah. I'm perfectly okay with that. You can use your music, your art to express yourself however you want. However you want, you just do it. Go ahead and do it. It is your right to express yourself however you want. It is my right to react to that however I want. I can agree, I can disagree, I can be indifferent towards it. I am within my right, and you are within your right. So yeah, criticizing, like, no one is above criticism. No one is above criticism. And if you think you are insane. And you deserve to be criticized. Everyone deserves to be criticized. I deserve to be criticized. The Pope deserves to be criticized. The president deserves to be criticized. A, countries deserve to be criticized. Everyone deserves honest criticism. Honest being the key word. So yeah, there you go. There you go. That was my rant on this. Yeah, there is a cool aspect to all of this. Don't believe you're on edge. Do not get high on your own farts. There is still a reality out there. There's still people out there. We are still all human beings. And if we as a society of human supremacists are going to push to the stars, emotional, damn it. You gotta behave. Basically, you gotta behave. So yeah, like I'm 100% in favor of musicians or anyone criticizing anyone. Diss tracks, I love the concept of a diss track. It's so funny to me because it's drama. It's just drama. You're free to engage in drama if you want, all that kind of stuff. Once it turns into action, that's when we can start having a problem. Especially if it's violence, or if it's some sort of like damaging, aggressive action of some sort. But other than that, if you're saying words, then yeah, say the words, and everyone around you will have the right to react to those words however they want. And that's it. Anyway, yeah, that's going to be it for our reacts. We are going to move on to some Final Fantasy. Let me just set up the... You cannot reach better without criticism. Absolutely. Absolutely. You cannot grow without knowing what is wrong. If I don't know what's wrong with me, how am I supposed to fix it? How am I supposed to fix it?